Okay, so, Shine, what number are you in birth order?
2.
And what is your earliest memory?
Earliest memories? Whoa. I'll tell you something that's important, okay? Memory is something that goes way back. But we used to come crawfish, my mom and I, for the family to eat, right across the lake up there. And that's one of the first things, one of the important things.
Did you help clear a lot of the land over there?
Oh yeah, we cleared all of this up here. We when we moved on this side, we cleared all of this, and we turned it over by mule and horses. Breaking the land up for them to start row cropping. The cane, well, we grew potatoes and corn and stuff, and then until we get into the cane situation, sugar cane.
Daddy.
Which of your siblings were you closest to?
Well, that's got to be my oldest brother. When we started growing up, and we always done things together. Even taking swims up here without anybody knowing. Right across that. We did a lot of things. We hunted. We hunted rabbits for the family to eat at times. On the weekend after school and stuff like that. So we was pretty close. We had 2 of our first cousins that we used to go hunting all the time on the weekend. Sometimes we had to provide food for our family. Rabbit was a thing, for the meat. But other than pork, sometimes we had.
And what do you remember about the old house?
Which one you referring to? This one up here? I don't remember much of that house moving in because I was working away at that time, mostly in Orange, Orange Regis. So I don't remember too much about that, but I usually come visit, every once in a while I'll come back and visit.
So which house do you remember better? Where was it?
Well, first house was built on the other side where your house is. We built this from the bottom up. And so that's where it all started. And then because Daddy was a fisherman, so he wanted to go cropping, row cropping, farming, so we moved on this side and started clearing this piece of property up there. That's why we started with sugarcane.
So when did you start work?
When did I start? I was 16. And I went to work on a quarter boat in Orange, Texas, in the kitchen, serving food.
How long did you do that for?
For almost a year. I kept on the dredges a while, went outside for a little bit more money and so on, how that goes.
And how did you meet your wife?
That's not by chance because we were always going back and forth, and her uncle had a grocery store, which is the same guy that owned this piece of property at one time, bought it. And so we was always going to the store, and she worked in there a while.
So what memories do you have of your mom and papa?
A lot and a lot. He was you want me to take the bad and the good? He was a tough hombre to please, okay? You had to put out your work. The work ethic was, woof, that big. And he's steadily working. He's a guy that just worked. He didn't have much of an education at all. And Mama had a little bit. So we took it. I think everything came out good, though, because it was forceful things, you know. And Mom's always a lenient one. Always go back to Mom.
What you miss about the old days?
Oh, God. Just simple stuff, simple living. Most of it. We did a lot of hunting and fishing, and so it all come to mind, things of that.
So for the rest of the family, what do you remember about Mama and Papa?
What do I remember? Oh, Lord.
No, the rest.
You mean all the siblings?
Yeah.
Watching Mass at their house.
Watching Mass.
Pretty much every time you walked in, Mass was going on. Or she was saying a rosary.
Yeah, most of the rosary.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get in, wants coffee.
Oh, coffee, yes.
Yeah.
In the little
Yeah.
bitty coffee cups.
We wake up.
Very dark coffee.
Whatever she had cooked was there, and you could, as soon as the kids start coming in,
Want
who's
to
hungry?
eat?
Who wants to eat?
We had a coffee grinder. I guess y'all seen it, huh? On the wall, by the stove. They said the stove, the coffee grinder was here. Well, we buy the green beans, and we usually roasted it up here. And every morning, she'd grind a pot of beans to make coffee fresh. Couldn't have made any fresher.
How long did y'all live in the old house, the other house? When we were
On the farm.
farming?
On the farm.
Not this one, the other one.
The
The
big
one by the
house?
levee.
Ruli's house?
and the Martin place.
Yeah.
There, no water, I don't remember. Water on. And
Or how old were
I-
you? Do you
I
remember when
got
you
a-
moved out?
You never lived there,
uh,
at that house?
no, not much.
That's what I remember.
Mhm.
In the summertime, when we'd go spend a few weeks during the summertime, and she had a big chest freezer. So we'd go with the metal cups and scrape the sides and make like homemade snowballs.
That was our snowball.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, don't do that, that's gonna make them sick, but my mom.
No, but it was good. We never
Oh,
got
it was
sick.
very good. I can't do it now, but that's okay. And black pepper. You'd walk
Oh,
in
on the
there,
eggs, yes, on the fried
Smell
eggs
of
in the
black
morning,
pepper.
yes.
I'll never forget that.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
That's a
That
strange
was
thing
good.
to remember, huh? But she used so much of it in her cooking, it was just
Yeah.
in there.
So where were they living?
That was the house by the levee. That's when we were kids, that's where they were, we'd visit and play in the fields and
Yeah.
the barn, remember
Yes, the barn, and I remember, what's the name of that machine where they would dry the corn and you put the corn and turn it,
Mhm.
and
The
you'd have
corn.
separate the corn and the
Yeah.
cob for the cows. and
Corn grinder?
And the chickens.
Was there a name for that machine?
Corn grinder.
I don't
Well, the
know.
grinder,
Anyway,
yeah.
To grind the corn, it just
separate the
separated
grain from the corn cob.
separated the kernel of the corn from the cob,
Yeah,
and like the
it's
cob
a-
came
it's
out
a
one end, the corn came out the other. You fed
hand
the corn
grind.
to the
Yeah, very
cows.
interesting.
That was a job.
That was
That
a-
our job.
Yeah,
a daily
that.
daily chore.
And feed the chickens. Yes. Oh God, those
Yeah,
horrible
things like
chickens. Peck your feet. They did. They're terrible
And
chickens.
stay out of that chin with that Brahma bull. Leave Brahma bull. Mama was there, they're gonna get you.
So what did you kids learn from Mama and Papa?
Oh,
Pray.
Work.
Yeah, working.
And family.
Yeah.
Pop, I remember Pop, that was a tough old bird. I mean, he didn't seem like the kind of grab you and kiss you and hug you, but he'd sit under the fan in a rocker, and when John was maybe 1 or 2, we'd go visit. And he'd say, Kunas, you come visit me, Kunas. That was the tough part, but he really loved him. And then he'd tell John, look at that, watch what's going to come out that ceiling fan. And he'd grab a handful of quarters and throw them. Do you remember any of that? You'd go crazy. He'd throw quarters up and the quarters would fall off the fan. And John would pick up his quarters. You don't remember that?
Oh, cheap entertainment.
He got it good. At least you got quarters. That surprises me.
Sure.
Quarters.
John would go, he'd have quarters in his change in his
That's
pocket.
good.
He'd
That's
Quarters.
about all he had, too.
Oh, yeah.
And when they were living at that house in Catahoula, and he would never change the time for the clocks. When the
No,
time
he
would
never
change,
did. He never did,
He
period.
never
Say-
touched the time. He always went by the time that it was. He
The
never,
old time,
ever
so they
went
said.
to
Mom
daylight
said
regular
savings
time.
time.
Never.
Never changed.
Why, I don't know.
Daylight savings
Except-
time was
Yeah.
always.
Well, they're kind of like state of Arizona and so on and so forth. 3 other states.
Well, Mom must have known it was time for church by the church bells or something.
Well, we did have a church bell, you know.
She probably knew by the light of the day it was time to go to church.
Probably. My mom was there.
Well, it was done a lot of time and that's before advanced time. a lot of time, but then I have to go to church.
What does it mean to be a Theriot?
You drink a lot of coffee. No matter how old you are, you always get coffee. I remember being this big. Coffee? Sure.
It won't hurt you.
No, I don't hurt you.
It didn't. It didn't stunt your growth or anything.
See, Mom drank like a coffee till she was over 94 and she was still drinking coffee.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So evidently it didn't hurt that much.
And
Not
the strong stuff too.
Ooh, yeah, just like what I do at the camp.
The drip.
The
Yes.
drip, smoke.
And how does your family continue the Theriot tradition?
We still drink a lot of coffee.
Still put up with a lot of stuff. Although it's upgraded a little bit, you know. So, well, after the World War #2, and things started popping a little bit, you know, for us, everybody.
Did you learn to cook from your mom?
Not really. She, in those days, Mom and then was head cook, chef, everything in there. Nobody fooled around but her. So Daddy took care of the outside and she took care of the inside. So nobody ever went to the stove but to cook.
She was in charge.
Strictly hers. That's the way it was.
What about the girls? Would they help out with that?
Not that I know.
Or more like the house cleaning, maybe?
Well, yes, some of that stuff, yeah.
Babysitting. My mom said that they would help watch
with
the
the
other
kids.
kids.
Okay.
Yeah, she did a lot of that.
Makes sense. Anyway.
That's it.
We're good.
Hey.
Oh, good.
Hey.
Thank you guys.